Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Happy to see you all. This meeting, we will talk about narrative text. Do you like reading or do you like read a story? Okay, well, our topic today is narrative text related to the storytelling. Storytelling. Narrative is one of kind of story. There is narrative text, descriptive text, or report text. And today we will learn about narrative text. Okay, I will share to you all my PowerPoint. Okay, our topic today is about narrative text. Okay. Do you remember the story about Sang Kuryang? Okay. Okay, where is the story come from? Okay, good job. Sang Kuryang is the one of folk tale from West Java or bahasa is Jawa Barat. Next is what we learn here in narrative text. There are some goals here. The first is reading some Indonesian folk tales. Okay. The second one is identifying structure of narrative text. And the last is understanding moral lesson of the narrative text. Okay. I will show to you all some Indonesian folk tale. The first maybe I will show you the story of Maling Kundang or the story of Sang Kuryang. And then after I show you the story and you read the story, after that you have to identifying the structure of the narrative text or of the text. After you read all the story of Maling Kundang, and then you have to identify the structure of narrative text. And the last is understanding moral lesson of the narrative text. After we read all the story, in the end of the story, we will get the moral lesson of the story. Okay, we come to the next. The next is about general structure of narrative text. There are three structure of narrative text. The first is orientation, the second one is complication, and the last is resolution. Okay, you can see the picture on the left. Narrative. When do I use it? When you need to entertain your audience or to stimulate your audience, you need to use narrative text. Okay, there are some parts in narrative text. The first is action verbs. So narrative text use action verb, but commonly the action verb form in past tense or verb to. Example, found, wondered, to, tremble. Okay, found is the action verb or the verb to from find. Okay. And there's another like saying verb, said, verb one of said is say, or whispered, yell, and of course the narrative text, the sentence, the story will be formed in past tense. And also there are quoted speech. We can know the quoted speech in the quote mark. For example, I whispered It will be right. And then reported speech. And the last is about the conjunction and connective. So between the sentence, sometimes we found that there are some conjunctions like when, then, first, or next. Okay, we come to the first is about orientation. So we come to the first about orientation. Orientation means to introduce the characters and describe the setting. Okay. In the first line, in the first paragraph, we know that the first story begins by introduce the character in the story and describe the setting. And then we come to the complication. Complication means to introduce a situation that changes the normal run of events and causes a problem for one or more of the character. So in the complication, in the line, we know that the character have a problem and the problems comes in complication. Maybe one of character have problem with another character or a, a bad character, a fight with good character, and etc. And the next is about resolution. Means to resolve the problem so things are back to normal even. Changes have occurred. Yeah. After the conflict, we come to the resolution to resolve the conflict. So the last is about coda. Coda is optional. Um, in the story, maybe there is a coda. In another story, there is no coda. Okay, what is coda? Coda is to show clearly how the character has changed and what has been learned. Okay, I think it is clear. Do you have any question, class? Okay, no. Good. Continue our topic. I give you the story of Toba Lake. The story of Toba Lake. I will read the story and you have to understand and pay attention when I read the story. Once upon a time, there was a man who was living in North Sumatra. He lived in simple hut in a farming field. They did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. Here is he, he did some gardening and fishing for his daily life. One day, while the man was do fishing, he caught a big golden fish in his trap. It was the biggest catch which he ever had in his life. Surprisingly, this fish turned into a beautiful princess. You know all that the Tobalite wife is came from a fish. Okay. He fell in love with her and proposed her to be his wife. She said yes, but you have to promise not to tell anyone about the secret that I was once a thief. Otherwise, there will be a huge disaster. If Toba tell to another people that his wife is a fish, there will be a huge disaster come. Okay, next. The man made the deal that they got married, lived happily and had a daughter. In the story, we know that Toba and his wife have a daughter. Years later, this daughter would help bringing lunch to her father out in the field. One day, his daughter was so hungry and she ate his father's lunch because the daughter is very hungry. She is starving. And then she ate his father's lunch. Unfortunately, he found out and got furious and shouted, "You damn daughter of a fish!" Nah, the Toba broken his promise. The daughter ran home and asked her mother. The mother started crying, felt sad that her husband had broke his promise. Then she told her daughter to run up the hills. There is a hill near the Toba house, and because a huge disaster was about to come, the wife tell to her daughter to climb and run to hills because there will be a huge disaster. When her daughter left, she prayed. She means to the wife, the Toba wife here. Soon there was a big earthquake followed by non-stop pouring rain. The whole area got flooded and became Toba land. She turned into a fish again. Once again, Toba wife turned into fish, and the man became the island of Samosir. I think it is a little bit different between the story of Toba that we all know before. I have questions. How many characters in the story of Toba? Okay, anyone can answer my question? Okay, good. There are Toba, and then is his wife, and then is his daughter. There are three characters in the story of Toba. Okay, I think that's all the short story of Toba Lake. So, what should we learn for the next meeting now? I have the story about the penguin family. Have you seen a penguin? A penguin, no? Penguin. I like penguin because okay, the penguin is very cute animal. Okay, we will apply the story of the penguin family and listen carefully the story together. Okay, I will play the video. Okay, can you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound? Okay, here I will play the video.
The Penguin Family. It's a beautiful winter day. Everyone is playing in the snow. Bada wants to build a snowman. He has made 3 big snowballs. Big, bigger, biggest. Bada wants to start putting his snowman together.
Okay, that's all the story of the penguin family. After we watch the video about the penguin family, I give you some questions. I will I will send the questions into our group and you should answer the question correctly based on the story of the penguin family. I think that's all for our meeting today. I hope you all can answer the question correctly and see you next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.